Hello, everybody. Just your friendly neighborhood INFP, and listen. I am not entirely aware of the concept of time, hence bringing out things far later than they were intended, such as this video, which should have been out like a month ago, but here we are. And of course, this is going to be an MBTI list of the types of Pokemon, of which I've only picked out 16. And I had 898 Pokemon to choose from. So forgive me if your favorite Pokemon or the Pokemon you wanted to be on here is not on this list. I do what I can with what I have, and the one thing that I did do, or did not do, is put in the starter Pokemon. So if you're wondering where Charmander and Bulbasaur and Squirtle or Blastoise or whoever as part of the starter sets for each generation, I did not put them in. With that being said, let's look at the Pokemon. The Pokemon that I did put in. Starting with my own personal favorite, and since I am doing this video, yes, I'm going to start off with my favorite Pokemon. So sue me. Starting off with Sylveon. Now, Sylveon I have labeled as an ENFP. And if we were to go to the National Pokedex or whatever, there is a reason why Sylveon is my pick for ENFP. So, if we were to look at the anime version, which I don't watch the anime, I don't like Ash, like, at all. I've never liked Ash. Worst trainer by far. You can disagree with me. I don't mind. But I still think he is the worst trainer by far, with how his very being is the antithesis to the entire song of the anime, the entire opening of the anime of I want to be the very best and gotta catch 'em all, which he never does. He never does. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Ash. But regardless of that reason, if we were to look in the Pokedex of the anime version, it says Sylveon, the intertwining Pokemon. Sylveon affectionately wraps its ribbon-like feelers around its trainer's arms as they walk together. Now, this doesn't really tell you much about it being an ENFP, or whether or not it is an ENFP, but when you play X and Y and you go onto the list, it says it sends a soothing aura from its ribbon-like feelers to calm fights. It wraps its ribbon-like feelers around the arm of its beloved trainer and walks with him or her. That's X and Y. Omega Ruby, it sends a soothing aura from its ribbon-like to calm fights, and the same essentially thing. When you look at Sun and Moon, it says when this Pokemon sights its prey, it swirls its ribbon-like feelers as a distraction. Moments later, it pounces. So, in some ways, you could say that Sylveon could be an ENFJ. Sure. But it's fun-loving. If you've watched the episode with Sylveon and friends, or was it Pikachu and friends? I don't know. It's fun-loving. It's random. It's a fairy type. I've just decided to name it ENFP because there is a better Pokemon out there for ENFJ, and I will get to that soon. So yeah, Sylveon, ENFP, but I will also accept ENFJ for it. Either case, it is definitely a extroverted type of Pokemon who enjoys being around his trainer, who has some unpredictable traits around it. That is why it gets the ENFP. Moving on, we've got the Pikachu. And we've got Pikachu. The most basic of all Pokemon, the one that everybody knows or seems to know, the one that is the mass icon for the Pokemon genre. Okay, you should see where I'm going with this. Pikachu is the ESFJ of the Pokemon. It's cute, it's friendly, it's the main mascot, it's one of the most popular ones out there. ESFJ. I'm going to forever see Pikachu as ESFJ just due to all of that. Are there other Pokemon that might represent ESFJ better? Sure. But once again, this is just my opinion. And secondly, how do you even type Pokemon in the first place? So I'm just going with what my gut and what I get from those to say, hey, this is what this is. Next up, we have the Gardevoir. Now this one's interesting because Gardevoir is quite protective of its owner, quite helpful with its owner. In fact, Gardevoir is the one who is most likely going to do things and know things like around its owner. It is very, in some ways it's kind of dependent on the owner, just in the same way that the owner might be dependent on Gardevoir. And it's a very beautiful Pokemon, so there's that as well. But let me read what it says in the Pokedex about the Gardevoir that made me give Gardevoir the ISFJ. So in the Pokedex, when you go down, it says Gardevoir has the ability to read the future if it senses impending danger to its trainer. This Pokemon is said to unleash psychokinetic energy at full power. So that's basically what it does. It's like it reads the field. And it's like, oh, danger is coming to my trainer. I'm going to protect them. So the fact that it protects its owner and is very attached to its owner is one of the reasons. This could be used to say, but wait, with its ability to read the future, shouldn't it be an INFJ? Not necessarily, but yes, it could be, but there is a different one for that as well. Gardevoir is the one that is, like Sylveon, very attached to its trainer, willing to go out of, I think even more so than Sylveon, but the Sylveon would still do the thing. Gardevoir is going to be there for its trainer. It is, I think, more of, it's got a duty. Its main duty is be with the trainer, protect the trainer, do nothing else but those things. I'm sure it does like other stuff. If we look at the anime saying of it, the embrace Pokemon, if Gardevoir's trainer needs protecting, Gardevoir creates a small black hole using its psychic power. The embrace will use all of its psychic energy to protect the trainer as it has made a deep connection with. So obviously there is this codependence type thing going on between Gardevoir. You know what? I'm not even trying to explain why I'm trying to delve so deep into something I have very little information on. Just take my word that Gardevoir is an ISFJ and we'll move right along. Next up, we have Milotic, who I have labeled as an ENFJ. So, the reason why I have named Milotic as the ENFJ is because it is said to be the most beautiful of all the Pokemon. That's not the reason why I named it by the ENFJ, although I do tend to find a lot of ENFJs beautiful people, but that's not the reason why I put it. It has the power to calm emotions such as anger and hostility, to quell bitter feuding. It releases a pulsing wave of energy that brings a soothing calm to restless spirits. So they are very much a, what's the word I'm looking for? A peacemaking Pokemon. Not only they're beautiful, not only are they placed in artworks, not only are they all that, but they have the power to calm emotions. They have the power to bring peace to things. It has the power to calm troubled hearts. That is why I named the Milotic as the ENFJ, gave it to the ENFJs, because of that ability, that it calms heart. It's not just like one person's heart, like what Sylveon does with its trainer, who its emotions it can read, which I think is like, can go either way. Milotic just sends out a pulse that calms everybody around it. Now, I don't know how much is, remember, I do not watch the anime, but yes, Milotic gets the ENFJ. I'm not trying to jump into this all deep because this isn't supposed to be that deep, and yet I'm trying to make it that deep. I don't know why. Moving on, Darmanitan. ESTP. He has the very clear features of, oh yeah, and let's fight and energy. He is the one who will like burst through and be like, yeah. And probably would be up for like skating and adrenaline stuff and all of that. Yeah, so Darmanitan, totally ESTP. Moving on, we have Ditto. Ditto can take on the form of many a Pokemon. Now, there is an MBTI type that is often said to be the chameleon, and even my sister has stated that she feels kind of like a chameleon. So with that being said, I give Ditto to the INTP. It can become anything. It can pretend that it is something that it's not and make it very convincing, and it's probably a lot smarter than people give it credit for. So yes, Ditto gets the INTP. Then we have the Mawile, however you pronounce it. I'll just say Mawile. The ENTP. They trick you into thinking they're this cute little thing, and then suddenly teeth! And you never see it coming. They are very tricksy Pokemon. They're very deceptive Pokemon. They give a air of innocence before they pounce. So yeah, Mawile gets ENTP. Absol gets the INFJ, and the reason for that is because it is said to come down the mountain to warn of future danger that is going to come, or people treat it as a warning of future danger to come. It is dealing around future bad omens that are about to come, so everybody get prepared, hence the INFJ. I told you there was another Pokemon out there that fit the INFJ stereotype even more, and that is, for me at least, you may disagree. Remember, I have 898 Pokemons to go through. Just keep that in mind. I'm doing the best with what I got, okay? So yeah, Absol, INFJ. Moving on. Mimikyu. Now this one is sad. This one, this one caught me off guard, because listen to what it says about the Mimikyu. You ready for this? The actual appearance is unknown. A lonely Pokemon. It conceals its terrifying appearance beneath an old reg so it can get closer to people and other Pokemon. Okay, although it's a quiet, lonely Pokemon, if you try and look under what's under its reg, it becomes agitated and resists violently. A gust of wind revealed what hid under that Pokemon's reg. Passing trainer who went home died painfully that very night. The busted form, after going through all the efforts of disguising itself, its neck was broken. Whatever is inside is probably unharmed, but it's still feeling sad. If its neck is broken or its reg torn during an attack, it works through the night to patch it. Ultra Sun, it stands in front of the mirror to try and fix its broken neck as if its life depended on it. It has a hard time getting it right, so it's crying inside. Sad that its true identity may be exposed, Mimikyu will mercilessly seek revenge on any opponent that breaks its neck. Then in Sword and Shield, where it's fashion regged into a Pikachu costume in an effort to look less scary. Unfortunately, the costume only makes it creepier. Then it goes in the busted form. It's a disguise made from an old reg to allow it to avoid an attack, but an impact broke its neck. In disguise now, everybody knows it's a Mimikyu. There's no forgiveness to anyone who tries to reveal that I was trying to protect him. So, everything about the Mimikyu, at least to me, is saying INFP. It's disguising itself. It doesn't want people, I don't think, from what it's telling me, it doesn't want people to die. It wants to get close to them. It wants to look at them. It wants to know what they're like. It wants to get close to people, but it can't. It's trying to make things look cute, but really inside, it's like, it can't get it right. It only gets creepier, so it makes it harder for it to meet new friends. So Mimikyu, for these reasons and the whole crying inside bit, and they're just trying to make friends but can't, and like people not understanding it, and then it resisting violently on its value, which is like, hey, don't look under this, I'm too scared for you to look under this, and if you look under this you're gonna die, so I don't want you to die, so please don't look under this. Mimikyu, INFP. You may disagree, but I see very clear indication of the Mimikyu being INFP, and yes, I am going deep with this one. Gosh darn it. Moving on, we have Diancie, which I have given to the ISFP, because not only is it a beautiful rock type Pokemon, and rock looking Pokemon, the sudden transformation of the Pokemon that was before the card brink, its pink and glimmering body is said to be the loveliest sight in the whole world. So most artistically pleasing looking Pokemon in the world. And yes, I am going based off of stereotypes here. I don't have a lot of stuff to work off with when it comes to Pokemon, so sue me if I'm going to be using some of the stereotypes. It can instantly create many diamonds, compressing carbons in the air, so in between its hands, so it creates stuff as well as if it was part of its own body. Even more reason for it to be part of the ISFP. And a sudden transfer, yeah. So basically, it creates stuff. It's really pretty to look at, and it gives you diamonds. And I'm sure it's also really nice. Diancie, ISFP. How deep do you want me to go? Moving on. Meloetta, ESFP. The name should already tell you, ESFP for Meloetta. She sings, she performs, she is front and center, likes the attention, definitely giving Meloetta the ESFP type performer thing. Not that deep. I'm trying not to be so deep, but I'm being deep. Why am I moving on? Mewtwo was created in a lab based off of Mewtwo. His super thinky thought Pokemon, has serious plans about serious stuff, does not like being around people, has probably plans after plans after plans, often seen as a villain in some of the stuff, learns to actually like Ash and people, and all that stuff happens. As such, Mewtwo, INTJ, because of science. That's literally my excuse here. Moving on, we have the Corviknight. Now these are the rulers of the air, and not only are they rulers of the air, they decided, not only are we kind of the rulers of the air, of the sky, what else should we do? Oh, I know, let's start up a business where we transport people. Let's just turn this whole thing into a business. And so not only do they rule the skies, but they also run a business. Hey, ENTJ, right there. They like, okay, we got this. What are the future plans? Business, transfer people? Sure, let's do it. Boom, ENTJ. Mudsdale, ISTP. Hardworking, likes to do the stuff that it likes to do. Just has that ISTP vibe going for it, so I'm giving Mudsdale the ISTP. The Tyrantrum once used to be a ruler of the past, had things in certain orders, Pokemon had to please it, it was the ruler of the land during its time, but now it does whatever. ESTJ. I'm trying to make this easy, and Pokemon really does not give me a lot to work off with. How many times do I have to say that? And lastly, we have the Furfrou. The Furfrou were a Pokemon that served kings in the past, and they serve people now as bodyguards. They have a specific duty, they are made for that specific duty, and they perform that specific duty. And very rarely do they ever go outside of that specific duty, and they will perform that specific duty, whatever that specific duty may be. And how many times do I have to say specific? They're an ISTJ. We're done. That's all, folks. I'll see you next time. This was a lot more chaotic than I intended it to be. Bye!